بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, and from Him do we seek help. All praise be to Allah, the Sustainer of all the worlds, and blessings and peace be upon our Master Muhammad, and on all his family and companions. The second station of the 13th word. In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate. A conversation held with some young people who, though surrounded by temptation, had not yet lost their power of reason. Being assaulted by the seductive amusements of the present time, a group of young people were asking, how can we save our lives in the hereafter? And they sought help from the risale-i. So I said the following to them in the name of the risale-i. The grave is there, and no one can deny it, whether they want to or not. Everyone must enter it. And apart from the following three ways, there is no other way it can be approached. The first way, for those who believe the grave is the door to a world far better than this world. Second way, for those who believe in the hereafter, but who approach it on the path of dissipation and misguidance. It is the door to a prison of solitary confinement, an eternal dungeon, where they will be separated from all their loved ones. Third way, for the unbelievers and the misguided, who do not believe in the hereafter, it is the door to eternal extinction. That is to say, it is the gallows on which both themselves and all those they love will be executed. Since they think it thus, that is exactly how they shall experience it as punishment. These last two ways are self-evident. They do not require proof. They are plain for all to see. Since the appointed hour is secret, and death may come any time and cut off his head, and it does not differentiate between young and old. Perpetually having such an awesome and serious matter before him, unhappy man will surely search for the means to deliver himself from that eternal extinction, that infinite, endless solitary confinement, the means to transform the door of the grave into a door opening onto an everlasting world, eternal happiness, and a world of light. It will be a question for him that looms as large as the world. The certain fact of death, then, can only be approached in these three ways. And 124,000 voracious messengers, the prophets, in whose hands are miracles as signs of confirmation, have announced that the three ways are as described above. And relying on their illuminations and visions, 124 million saints have confirmed and set their signatures on the Prophet's tidings, and innumerable exact scholars have proved it rationally with their categorical proofs at the level of certainty at the degree of knowledge. Footnote number 1. One of these is the risale-i, and it is there for all to see. They have all unanimously declared it to be a 99% certain probability, saying, the only way to be saved from extinction and eternal imprisonment and be directed towards eternal happiness is through belief in Allah and obedience to Him. If a person considers but does not heed the word of a single messenger, not to take a dangerous road on which there is a 1% danger of perishing and takes it, the anxiety at perishing he suffers will destroy even his appetite for food. Thus hundreds of thousands of voracious and verified messengers announced that there is a 100% probability that misguidance and vice lead to the gallows of the grave, ever before the eyes, and eternal solitary confinement, and that there is a 100% probability that belief and worship remove those gallows, close the solitary prison, and transform the ever-apparent grave into a door opening onto an everlasting treasury and palace of felicity. And they have pointed out signs and traces of these. Confronted as he is, then, with this strange, awesome, terrifying matter. If wretched man, especially if he is a Muslim, does not believe in worship, is he able to banish the grievous pain arising from the anxiety he suffers, as he all the time awaits his turn to be summoned to those gallows, ever present before his eyes? Even if he is given rule over the entire world, together with all its pleasures, I ask you. Since old age, illness, disaster, and on all sides death open up the frightful pain and are a reminder, even if the people of misguidance and vice enjoy 100,000 pleasures and delights, they most certainly experience a sort of hell in their hearts. But a profound stupor of heedlessness temporarily makes them insensible to it. Since for the people of belief and worship the grave, ever before their eyes, is the door to an everlasting treasury and eternal happiness, and since by reason of the belief coupon, a ticket from the pre-eternal lottery of divine determining, for millions upon millions of pounds worth of gold and diamonds has come up for you for each of them, they all the time await the word, "Come and collect your ticket," with a truly profound pleasure and real spiritual delight. This pleasure is such that if it materialized and the seed became a tree, it would be like a private paradise. However, one who abandons the delight and great pleasure due to the drives of youth, and chooses in a dissolute and licentious manner temporary illicit pleasures which resemble poisonous honey polluted with those innumerable pains, falls to a degree 100 times lower than an animal. Furthermore, such a person will not be like unbelieving Europeans, for if they deny the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they may recognize the other prophets, and if they do not know Allah, they may possess some good qualities, which are the means to certain perfections. But a Muslim knows both the prophets and his sustainer, and all perfections by means of Muhammad the Arabian, peace and blessings be upon him. If one of them abandons the prophet's instruction and puts himself outside his fold, he will not recognize any other prophet, neither will he recognize Allah, nor will he know any of the fundamentals within his spirit which will preserve his perfections. For since Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is the last and greatest of the prophets, and his religion and summons are for the whole of mankind, and since he is superior to all with regard to his miracles and religion, and acts as a teacher to all mankind in all matters concerning reality, and has proved this in a brilliant manner for 14th centuries, and is the cause of pride for mankind, a Muslim who abandons Muhammad's, peace and blessings be upon him's, essential training and principles of his religion, will most certainly be unable to find any light or achieve any perfection. He will be condemned to absolute decline. And so you unfortunates who are addicted to the pleasures of the life of this world, and with anxiety at the future struggle to secure it and your lives. If you want pleasure, delight, happiness and ease in this world, make do with what is licit. That is sufficient for your enjoyment. You will surely have understood from other parts of the risale-i that in each pleasure which is outside this and is illicit lies 1,000 pains. If the events of the future, for example, of 50 years hence, were shown in the cinema in the same way that they show at the present time the events of the past, those who indulge in vice would weep filled with horror and disgust at those things which now amuse them. Those who wish to be permanently, eternally happy in this world and the next should take as their guide the instruction of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, within the bounds of belief.
سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم.
Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you have taught us. Indeed, you are all-knowing, all-wise.